Looking to do a quick photo composite in Photoshop? Grab your quick selection tool from the tools bar, and if necessary, use the right or left square bracket keys to increase or decrease the size of the brush. Brush over top of the main area that you want to keep, in this case, the rocks and the model. Zoom in and decrease the size of your brush so you can get a nice accurate selection. If there are any areas that should not be selected, hold down your Alt key on Windows, Option key on the Mac, and continue brushing. Continue this until you have your main subject selected. Now that the selection is complete, hit the Refine Edge button on the options bar and zoom into any areas that may contain hair or fur. Painting with the Refine Radius tool can bring back stray hairs that weren't initially selected. Once those stray hairs have been caught, shift the edge inwards a little bit to tighten up on the edges, and then output to a layer mask and press OK. Your subject has now been extracted and is ready for its new background. I'm going to be using this image over here, which I grabbed from Shutterstock, but feel free to use any image of your own. Once it's on the document, move your background layer below the subjects. Now that the new background is in place, you may notice a few issues with the mask. This is why we outputted to a layer mask. With the mask selected, hop over to your brush tool, shortcut key B, and choose a nice hard brush. Now, painting with a white brush, you can reveal areas that were once hidden, or with a black brush, hide areas that you don't want shown. Make your way around the layer to touch up any areas that may look a little bit off. At this point, the extraction is looking nice, but the colors are not matching. Let's add some adjustment layers. First, I'm going to add curves, and I want to make sure to clip it to the layer below. Positioning my mouse in between the two layers, I'm going to hold down my Alt or Option key and click. The curves adjustment layer will allow me to darken up the shadows and brighten up the highlights to match the background a little bit better. Next, I'm going to add a gradient map adjustment layer. If you haven't already, go ahead and load in the photographic toning presets. These are beautiful gradients that you can use on your projects. Select any one that looks great, and then change the blend mode to either overlay or soft light. This will give your images a really nice look. Next, an optional step would be to blur out the background just a little bit. I'm going to convert this into a smart object so I can edit that blur later on. Head to Filter, Blur, and then Gaussian Blur, and then you can choose to either blur it a lot or just a little bit. I'm going to choose a blur of around 2.5, nice and subtle, and then press OK. And now that I've introduced a blur, I'm noticing that the edges aren't perfect. So I can zoom in once again, making sure my layer mask is selected, and with a black brush, paint around the edges to remove some areas that may look off. And finally, if you're noticing that the majority of your edges need to be adjusted, you can mask the edge even further. I'm going to choose On Layers so I can see both layers at once, and shift the edge of the entire mask inwards. Press OK, and here's my final result. In under 5 minutes, we went from a pretty plain photo shoot and turned it into something fantastic. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button right down there. And if you really like my content, my Patreon link is right up there, which allows you guys to donate on a monthly basis, $1 or $3, which is really just a Starbucks latte. Well, that's like $7, isn't it? I don't know. And if you want more of my videos, I got some playlists and recent videos over here to the left. Or is that the right? I don't know. That way, I think. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.